Shane van Boening against myself. A race to 3, 1 pocket. So it's the IDM club in Bucharest, where I had planned a trip 3 months before due to the pandemic paranoia. And I had a lot of work before, so I treated myself to a weekend with friends in Bucharest in this great pool club, possibly the best club in Europe. After Hague 5, of course. And Shane happened to be there after the World Pool Masters, where he played a little over a week to kill. He chose to travel to Romania, to Bucharest, the capital, practice there, play the locals, and ran into me. So on the first day, on the 29th, we played 2 sets of 9-ball. He won both. First one was close. It's also on the Billiard Network. On this day, I talked him into playing a set of 1 pocket with me and a set of banks, and then we would finish with 2 sets of 9-ball. Now, as most people will know, I like 1 pocket, but when do I get to play one of the superpowers in the game? Who could have known it were to be in Bucharest? So a race to 3, we're playing like lunch money. I almost felt guilty of having him play a race to 3. You know, he was there to practice 9-ball. But a good test. So 1 pocket, no spot. Who makes 8 balls first wins the first break for Shane. Not a perfect, it's okay. He put the 1 close to his pocket. I can't get to that ball. Now I'll use the ball on the rail to get behind that 1 ball. Moving it over, I actually put that 4 ball in a strong position for me. Where it is now, if he were to put the cue ball close to my pocket, I would have a straight back. But he can see it. So he'll cross it over. And now I'm looking at the 15. I can hit the 15 into the rail. Hit the back of the 1. Now, of course, I would have liked to hit that one ball more full, but I didn't have the angle. This is fine. I have 2 balls close to my hole, a high ball and a low ball, meaning even with a kick shot, it'll be difficult for him to get his cue ball in a safe spot. Don't see the exact position of the balls, but he's gonna play a waiting shot, put me in the stack. So now I can put the cue ball in the stack again and bank that ball over to my pocket. I would like, I don't know if I like to make that ball in my side. Yeah, I would have liked to, because I can hide the cue ball. But still. It's better had that ball stayed on my side and be in an open dominant position. So where can he go from here? He can kick 2 rails, come below the 9. If he fouls, that's okay. Now normally you wouldn't want to do this. You wouldn't want to leave the cue ball on your side of the stack. He played a race to 11 against Efren Reyes, a tar match a couple of years back, where he did the same trick a couple of times. So normally you wouldn't, but if you do it well, it works. But I can... Yeah, is this good? Well, it's not bad. But I would have liked to not hit that 11 and hide more of my balls near the pocket. So he's looking now to play that 1 half ball, put the cue ball near the 9. and open that 1 somewhat. If he puts it near the 9, I could have something on the 15. I'm still in a better position than he is. I mean, I've done well to neutralize the break. But now it's difficult for me to defend my position. What I see now, I can play half ball on the 1, bank the 1 to, 2 diamonds up, go to the long rail and put the cue ball on the stack off of the long rail. Or roll onto the 6. Trying to move balls towards my side. Sold out. Open shot to Shane. He will cut that 8 ball in. It's not a very steep cut, so he can still draw away off those balls, but he's running into them. All disciplines are different. Shane very much in a 9-ball mode. Played good to get to the finals of the Whirlpool Masters in Gibraltar. Lost to Kazakis. Is playing good 9-ball. Was playing good 9-ball here in IDM. But a different ball game, a different rhythm. So I don't really see an aggressive shot. So I'm gonna cut the 12, I think it is, left of the 6, towards the 6 and send the cue ball up table. The 2 ball should hide the cluster of 2 balls, the 5 and the other ball. And rolling the ball towards the 6, I'm trying to put traffic on his long rail. Because if there's traffic, that spot, that area on the upper right hand side of the table becomes a safe haven for me. So if the 6 and the other ball stay there, I can go up table every time. So he does see the 5. He does see the 15. If he hits like 80% full on the 5, he could play a nice power shot. It depends where that 5 goes off of the other ball, what the tangent line is. But he's playing a waiting shot. Lining up on the 2 or the 10. Could possibly play the 10 and get behind that cluster of 2 balls. Or off of the 4. From what I see here, if he comes off of the 4 and go to the left side of the table, left of the 15, it's not an aggressive shot, but it could, it could help him later in the game. This could be a nice shot, what he looked at. Welcome to the Billiard Network. Billiard Network brings you all good pool from all over the world, even from Bucharest. Who could have known running into this champion? Would have loved to play 1 pocket and banks all day. So he made his mind up, did play that cluster, but left me a shot. I have to cut in the 9 with the rest. Now, if you, at least me, let's talk about me. If I'm playing a big gun like Shane, running balls and just executing like I normally can doesn't come naturally. So we just started the game. I'm trying to do nothing too fancy, just play a natural shot, roll the cue ball, and I would like to clip the 10. Like that, but more full. I'm lucky for that cue ball to come off of the short rail. Looking at the 14th first, 10 is more value. Should get at least another 4 balls from here. Or should. Good. I like my moving game. It's alright in one pocket, but the challenge is then when you come up against the big boys to keep running balls like you do normally. Angle on the 3 to run into the 7. I think I can roll. Yeah, I can roll this. But if I hit that 7 full and overhit it, I might come too deep on the 5. Buh. Lucky. Lucky to not scratch, lucky to still have a shot on the 1. Elevate, draw, stay on the right side of the table. Lucky again. This was the first set of the day. So this game is gonna go my way. Got lucky twice. The table was playing, they put a new cloth on a couple days before. Clean balls, and that's always tricky. It's a different game when you play with those conditions. It's harder to control the balls. You'll see in tournament play on new conditions, you'll see balls leak more often. Like the 9 ball leaked on Shane, like the 8 ball leaked on me before, where he had the first shot. So now it's my break, and because of the cloth being so new, I'm not breaking between the first and second ball, hitting the first ball very thin. I'm hitting the second ball thin. Now this is a less aggressive break. It's not likely you're gonna get balls close to your pocket, but it's safer. It's better controllable. Well, and the spread is all right. So he's probably going to use the 4, the top ball. And he could, if he draws it, hits it like 3/4 ball, he can play the 4, 2, 3 rails towards his side pocket, that dominant position that I spoke of before, and bring the cue ball low left. It's all right. The cue ball is good, but maybe he could have played that 4 ball, 3 rails, missing the side pocket, 3 rails, and put it like half a diamond in front of his side pocket. So what do I have? I'm playing a bit quicker than I would normally. Not super quick, but just deciding quickly. Play the power shot. Got a ball in front of my hole, but left the 8 open. That cue ball should have traveled more up table. Don't think he can get underneath the 3. He needs to come in between the 315 or run into the 3. He has a bank on the 1, but it's an off-angle bank. It's not laying nicely. He can make my ball, hide the cue ball behind the 6, or play a power shot. Bank the 1 into the 5, possibly off of the 10. And make my ball in doing so. It's important that the ball that he brings to his pocket, that it's hidden by the 3 and 6. I can hit the 5 off of the 2, send it towards my pocket, but it depends on the exact angle what I can do with the cue ball. I can play straight back on the 13. Get something closer to my pocket and put the cue ball high top right. Now the 7, the 2 is on. He likes his angle. He's going to come off the top side of the 5. Otherwise he wouldn't play it. So it was a free shot. And could have worked out worse. I mean, it's not super easy for me to hide behind that 1. So what I'm saying is sometimes when you attack and you think you have a free shot, you might not sell out a shot to your opponent, but you could sell out the position. Now off of the 10 or possibly the 13, he can try and stick that cue ball behind the 6. It's a shot you play a lot in one pocket. Not the best. So if I remember well, I'm playing a straight back on the 13 and trying to get the cue ball behind the 1. I'm playing quicker than, as I said before, than normally because I try to keep it an open game. Now he's in a bit of trouble and he's looking at the 12-6. Can he manipulate the angle or is he straight in? There's like a ball width distance between the 7 and the long rail. So it's sitting quite nicely for a tiki. Playing the cue ball in between. Anything between 1/8 and full ball on the 7 is good. So how can I defend my position? I can play the 10 and 3 rail the cue ball. It's not laying nicely, but I sort of felt like playing, some more aggressive stuff. Can I get to the 9? Seems like it. But then it's going to be easy for him to get that cue ball low left behind the 7-15. Is it going to be easy? Yeah. It's a good thing I'm doing commentary, so I get to watch my match with a bit of intention. He can thin a ball, the 15, the ball near the 11, that's the 12 I think, or even kick behind the 7-15, or bank the 10 and keep the cue ball up table. And now off of the 15 behind the 13-7. Trying to make it soft and thin. Nice shot. Now I've watched plenty of Shane playing one pocket. He doesn't get mentioned a lot, but he knows the game, he banks great, he's super offensive. He's top notch, and if he's really into one pocket modus, he runs out from everywhere. So anytime he doesn't, I'm just happy. So I wouldn't mind opening up that cluster of 2 balls with the 7. Played it soft, played it weak, hit it too thin. I think he's looking at the 4-11. If he hits straight into the 4 will deflect to a diamond and a half on the left side on the long rail, go into the balls. So it's a power shot he could play with stun forward. I'm sure Filler would love that shot. Filler, for me, is the best in playing a stun run through and control the cue ball. The cue ball's motion forward over 2-3 diamonds. So now he's looking at that shot. Where will the 11 go? Where will it hit the 2? Straight onto the 4. Ah! Missed the trick. I did. Didn't fancy it. So now that 1 ball needs to be taken out. It's too close to the rail to hit it thick with any speed towards a 2 or the cluster of balls. Or drop to the lower short rail, or cross it, come up table with the cue ball. I hope I do the latter. So he could bank that ball that's near the head string. Just like before, bank it. The lane is not open to his pocket, but just bank it towards the 7. Keep the cue ball up table. But this time he is looking at the 4-11 cluster. Go forward with the cue ball. That's a fine shot. Didn't need to stun it. Had the angle to roll it. That's why probably maybe he played it this time and not before. And here I'm looking at solving the problem of the 2 ball in front of Shane's pocket. Now from here I would say play the striped ball to the right of the 5, into the 2, take it out, make it. I don't like this shot. Off of the 7, it's too difficult for me. I normally wouldn't play this. Hit low on the cue ball. With left, could get on the 7. Could go into the cluster with speed. Now what I like from here. The 5 goes, so he could cut the 5, hope he opens something, or just make the striped ball. He's counting now. 9 on the table, I think he's on 6. I might have 1, so he's on 5 or 6. Double kiss for position. That's nicely done. Thought he would always kiss on that shot. So I won on Shane's break, he wins on mine. Didn't manage to keep it tight, so it's his break again. It's always wreck your own in one pocket. Now sometimes they don't. I think I've heard that somewhere, but it makes sense to wreck your own. He's breaking on the head ball, so very thin on the first ball with inside spin, killing the cue ball near the second or third diamond. Didn't get nice action. Can I get off of the 5, below the 10 to the long rail and hide behind the 8? Closer to the ball is better. But at least I protected that ball near my hole. You cannot use that to put more pressure. He would like to protect his 10 ball or get the ball that he's banking now close to his hole. Can roll straight into the 10. Don't want to give too much speed. Straight into the 10, Alex. Just go forward. You have the 8, 11, the 10 perhaps to hide that cue ball behind. This is very difficult what I'm looking at, coming off of the 3 with top spin. So I give him sort of the same shot as he had before. Doesn't have the angle this time. So he's going forward off of the 5, wants to protect the 10 ball on the long rail with the 11. Or get something close to his hole. Straight into the 5. A half ball hit on a 10. Could work out nicely, this. Or then again, it could not. First open chance. Six balls available here. The 7 in the best position to open the cluster. Was playing for shape on the 8, still has it. But hit that stack a bit to the right. Can do nothing with the cue ball now. Just roll it in. And hope to not hit the 4. Make the ball. Actually, make sure to make the ball. And whatever happens, happens. What does he have from here? He can play a power shot on the 4. Or more conservative, use the 4 to put the cue ball in a safe position. And the 4, as said before, in that dominant position, about a diamond in front of his side pocket. I'm coming off the 13, putting it in a better, more favorable position, and the cue ball close to the stack. So if he puts the cue ball low left now, I would have a bank on the 13. And that's why he keeps the cue ball close to the middle. close to the rail. The 9 is on the right of the stack. Difficult to execute. Blasting that 9 out into the 3. Keeping the cue ball close to the ball left of it. Immediately Shane looking at the straight back bank on the 4. Most important is getting that cue ball in between the stack and a 13 to the left. Could be a winning shot this if he makes it. Beautiful. Six is not on, or is it? $13 doesn't bank. The 3 is in the way, but you don't always have to make it. If he gets close, puts it close to his pocket, within half a diamond, puts me on the defense. Yeah, look at that, put me in trouble. Now the pockets, they weren't big, but it definitely wasn't a one pocket table. Smaller pockets, you can do more with balls that are close to the pocket. So here, anything I do coming underneath the 13, the scratch is very dangerous. Can play it slow off of the 7, but I must make sure to put that 7 close to the short rail. Otherwise I would be leaving him a bank. Opting for a swerve kick shot, half ball hit on the 13. Took some pressure off of myself there for the first time. He can slow roll off of the short rail into the 13, just play a waiting shot and leave me, the only thing he would leave me would be an off angle bank on the 7. Looks like he wants to put me on top of the stack. That's an open chance. Finally get to pocket once again. 12 passes to 13. Twice the long rail. Ooh, played it soft. So difficult to not get weak in this game. Another thing you learn from one pocket if you're a 9-ball player. A lot of psychology. Learning to turn it on and come with the stroke when you need to. If you haven't hit a good stroke for 30-40 minutes. Looking at a 2-7 combo coming off of the 6-5. I feel like I can get that cue ball close to the long rail, but it's too risky. Just playing the bank here. Yeah, I got weak. Hit the bank weak, like in between, bit of defense, bit of offense. But didn't get any of the two right. This is why you need to play the top guys. Why you need to play good players that put pressure on you. To see where your running game is when you're under the gun. The bank on the 14 goes above the 7, so if he rolls the 2 ball in, he could bank, especially on these tables. Playing a very patient and prudent position. Get the ball out. Let me work for it. Now, I cannot protect the 14-7. And I'm looking if I have a straight back bank on that ball near the 3. Normally, if I play back home against guys that I give a lot of weight, I would come off of the 1 and go to the top rail, opening up that 1 ball. So if he's gonna blast the 14-7 out, I will have a straight back on the 1. Yeah, it's a bit too anxious, this, too difficult. I'm not gonna sell out an open shot, but it's too difficult to control. Easy pickings for him. He can play the 7. Stiffen it, on the way back it will clip the 14. Keep the cue ball close to the short rail. And play the score. I need many, he needs few. Close the game down. He's looking at crossing the ball to the short rail into the 14. Don't know if he thought he'd hit the 14 on the way back. So on a typical 1 pocket table with that ball hanging between the jaws of the pocket, it would be easier to take out of the pocket. I don't like playing the 14, hitting the 7, losing position. I'm trying to get that ball out of his pocket right now. So what I try to do there is, I've hit it way too soft. Make it jump the cue ball off the table. Any ball pocketed with a foul comes back. So he wouldn't have that ball. And I owe 1. So second ball would be put underneath the ball. He would not have had an open shot. 2-1 for Shane. Lely to break between the second and third ball. Let's see how they open. Well, in hindsight, I'm happy I won the banks. We played the set of banks after this 1 pocket match. That's probably why after that I was doing okay in 9 ball. But in this game, he's broken me down. I'm getting weak. Weak in the execution. Lost his cue ball there and has a problem now with that 7 and 12 close to my pocket. Can come off the 10 in between the 7 and 12, but it's not easy. And from there I could defend my position. Scratch is imminent, is dangerous here. If you hit the 12 a bit too thick, it could slide in the cue ball. Nice. Good shot there. I have a straight back on the 15. I think I play it now or later, but I don't like it. Because or on the 10 actually. The only chance, if I don't make the 12 off of the 10, I'm gonna open that lane. Alternatively, I could come thin off the 5, go to the short rail, and then land to the right of the 4, 14 and 6. A nice 3-railer, but I don't like it. You see what I did? And I knew the danger was there. No pressure. Now he can put me in a bad spot. There's an out, thin of the 4. 2 rails behind those 3 balls. Thin of the 5, that's good too. He's looking at a way to get that cue ball on the left side of the table. Too much angle on the 4, it seems, to hit into the 12. He cannot hit the 4 full and follow to get to the left side of the balls. Yeah, difficult shot that he played there. All those little tickly shots, they can work well if you play on your own table. I trap myself a lot doing that. I'll play in my club, in Hague 5 in The Hague, and play all those little finesse shots, and they work well. But then when you go on a different table, especially on new cloth, you just don't have that touch. So I'm looking at getting position, 2 rails, the cue ball out with high right to leave myself a cut on the 15-1. Or 1 rail trying to bump into the 3. Buh. Lost position. So the slow roll the 1. But then I see the 8. I can cut the 8. And if I hit like a half ball on the ball below, I'll follow through enough to not leave a shot on the 6. So this is a safe shot. That's the ball I owed from the break where I scratched. Now off of the 9, maybe 3/4 ball hit with stun. Needs to control his speed. Wow. That'll do. That's how you turn the game around. Bumped the ball in my hole, put a 1 in front of his. Now what? Is that area top right a safe zone? Can he make the 3? I don't think he can. So I got a straight back on the 10. Played into the 1. But I must make sure to control my cue ball. I'm looking at what I can do with the 11. If I see enough of the 11, I can bank it into the long rail, into the 8. Or just send the 11 over. But I'm going back to my first plan, straight back on the 10. And I'm playing a high. Am I playing center? No, I'm playing straight back. I have to turn it a bit with right spin. Got a ball close to my pocket. but not close enough for comfort. Can he get behind that one ball off of the 9? He can do that with a full ball. Like almost full ball hit, a little bit on our left. Or very thin. That's another thing you learn from one pocket, cue ball deflection when rolling. And judging angles, actually. Just that. That'll do. Saw enough of the 1. So this is the shot that I looked at in my previous innings. Something off of the 11. Now I have clear sight of the 11. Maybe even of the 6. So off of the 11, then put the cue ball close to the long rail on the right. Off of the 6, am I trying to stun follow the 3 ball in? It's not easy. From here I would say play the 11 into the 6 and cue ball close to the side pocket on the long rail. Looking, he will be looking, I reckon, at the straight back on the 1 with the 3 ball, yeah, helping him. He likes it. Little bit of cut, little bit of left spin. Left spin to put right spin on the 1. If you see him stroke like that, could he ever miss this shot? Should I have played something different? A long 10. Looks a lot scarier when you're playing one pocket all the time, this 10 ball. Still a very difficult shot, but he was playing 9 ball all the time. Skadoosh. Nice stroke. But no shape. He has 5. Now looking for a way to get traffic towards his pocket. He's looking at something off of the 4. That's the ball closest to my pocket, low left. If he hits like 3/4 ball on the right and then run into the 13, control the cue ball, he has a chance of getting something close to his pocket. Don't think he can play that and the 3 railer on the 4. Do I see the 13? Don't see enough of it, I guess. Yeah, from here, I think I can do something with the swerve shot. The 5 and 6 are blocked. I wouldn't be leaving easy bank or no bank at all. Straight back on the 9. I was looking at now, and then cue ball to left, to right. That's too hard to control. And this is far from easy as well. Off of the 3. getting lucky. Very risky. I didn't like that shot. I think I would have liked that swerve. So he's up in the ball count. We're playing lunch money, but anything more than lunch money, 5-0 up in balls is more than enough to start closing the game down. Ball comes back to the spot. And I take little time to decide what I like. Can play the 11 straight back to my pocket, hit it a little full, manipulate the 11 with right spin so that I can hit it more full, get to the long rail and below the 13. Let's see how my stroke is on this shot, how committed I play it. Too thin. Boo, no, not good. Broken down. Game is in his hands. Needs to avoid the 7. Put himself in a bad spot. He can hit that 3 ball into the 15, move it over to his pocket. 50 would go to the left and back to mid-table. Or what he's looking at, cutting the 3 to his pocket. And he's now judging if he could play that shot with some nice course for the cue ball. To the left, to the right, and back to the left to the safe zone for his cue ball. He's playing for 2. Yeah, so that's it. He's pointing it out. Took him a while to really feel and make it click what the cue ball will do if he attacks that 3 ball. That's a beauty. That's a beauty. Me 0, Shane 7. Playing for 1. He's looking at position though. Could be I counted wrong. Well, this must be it then. 1 pocket in IDM Bucharest. 30 May of 2021. Shane and myself in action. It was an honor, a thrill to play this icon of the game. He was okay in the banks, okay in the 1 pocket, but in 9 ball he was rocking it. Thanks for watching and keep checking out the Billiard Network.